Hello and welcome back at, well, Paris Airport, as we're looking at our glorious latest airline that we have now with those beautiful modern piston engine aircrafts that are beautifully shining in the sun there. They've not been used for quite some time, even though we can already see some used signs here that this aircraft has been used for quite some time now. In fact, it's been used for 2 years, so well, it's about time for some jet engines there. I'm hoping about them in the future. Now, also Paris with this latest airport here is really flourishing. It's, well, booming, we should say. It's really going up there. 459 people now live here. We still have some of these older buses, but with that, also, let's just check my lines, my profits off the line. Some of my lines in the cities have become now, well, profitable. Here, look at that. Paris to Salzburg, that was steep red before and is now at 190,000 profits there, thanks to having just more people basically that want to join those lines and transportation to other cities. So that is pretty good. Investing in a few, and of course we do have a few lines here that are deep red, but they are important in order that others can be deep blue, right? And our most profitable lines, what we can see here is Lyon, Hamburg, the passenger the passenger intercity express. Look at that, almost 10 million that we make it that in profits. Then we got some grain line here, the latest grain line, by the way, that we've implemented. This very long one. I never expected that such a simple grain line would be so profitable. 7 million with one train only. It's very strange indeed. No other line really comes close to that. Not even my oil transportations that are, well, making decent profit. But this is just insane, this grain transportation there. Then we got a few of our passenger train lines, as we can see, and airlines that are still making us some profit. How very nice. So basically, we're cashing out here deep at the moment, and we're in the 50s now. Also, of course, what I promised is that we need to, well, reuse the food line there once again for Vilnius that I've destroyed in the last episode. And yeah, we're basically just using the modern cars there as well. And what I did for this train line here is basically... Wait a second, where is it going? Oh my god, alright. No, actually it should be able to get to the right destination. Very strange indeed. It's getting to Vilnius first. That doesn't matter, right? So what we have here now is an additional platform and additional track, because in Vilnius it's getting a bit busy here as well. By the way, that we have the other passenger train line that is making us a good cash there as well, since lots of people want to travel to Amsterdam. Vilnius is at 300. It's not growing so quickly right now as I would like it, but still we might need another line here then soon anyway. Now it is time to create a new train line. In fact, Paris doesn't even have a train, well, transportation system as of this moment, right? It is the end of a very long journey here for Paris, as we can see. So there's nothing close by, but I would still like to have a train system here, a passenger train going now to, yes, Salzburg. This is going to be tricky because of the mountainside, and from Salzburg we continue onwards to Zurich that we have then as well. Now, once again, we need to be really dirty with this one. Unfortunately, let's get rid of this road system there. I'm going to have this station here. Wait a second, let's also get rid of this road there. And what we are going to do is now we're going to have a terminus station because it's the end of the road. And yeah, we're just plastering it in here and, well, in the way also destroying all of these buildings there. But what can you do about it? We do need a station. And as we know, it's building it around it. Those buildings are going to be removed. Let's make it a 240, so a really long one, because I'm expecting that this one is becoming bigger and bigger. We might also just make a ground station out of that, because basically we can do that. The problem is I can't decide on the buildings that we would like to have here, right? So the entrance building is always very small, and I need to remove that. Well, I've tried and it's actually not that easy getting a decent station in here. We'll need to flatten this whole terrain there still, so more or new buildings can appear here then in a second, right? So this one is of course going to be a normal road again. Unfortunately, that's the end of it here, so this is rather how it can be here. We might try... No. Alright, so I can only make this one a bit even, but that's it really. So there we have the Paris station. At least we use one of these cute new buildings there. Also, what is pretty important is that this station is just in this location there, connected with the airport and with our tram stations there, also with this tram station here right next to it. So that's the important thing. Now we do kind of like need to connect this whole thing now with, of course, Salzburg. In Salzburg we still need a train station. It's also going to be a very interesting track because, of course, don't forget that Paris is much lower than Salzburg. So as we can see, we do need this huge bridge there, also over the river where we have ships passing through. So the bridge needs to be high enough. And then as we can see, we're going into the mountainside. So this is going to be really tricky how we will be able to, well, basically get the train then over there to Salzburg, right? Which is much higher from its elevation. I might try to start somewhere. Yeah, first of all, actually, we do need the station anyway. So let's use actually one of the other stations there with those cute little buildings there, a red building. And this one needs to go. This one needs to go because I'm pretty sure we're going to need the station kind of like here, because that is the closest I could make it out, I guess. And also, of course, we shouldn't forget that we need to get then into this valley there for Zurich. Also, I would probably like to continue with another train to go to London then at some point. So there we do need another station, or there we do need this very interesting station. Boy, that's going to be a really, really hard track system here that we implement. The station we have, it's looking really cute this time. And then we do need to get through that mountain there, of course. Let's just see what we can do here. Of course, it's going to be one tunnel. Holy cow, 38 million, but it's working. I don't believe that. So after all, we could make this one work. Look at that bridge. Of course, we need to get through that mountain there first with this tunnel there, righto. Then we get out here with this really big, massive bridge that we have. And this bridge then leads to Paris, more or less, in one big slope more. And we have the 120 kilometers an hour there as well. We could, of course, probably try some other bridges there, some other bridge types, and not a lot of them are working as far as I can see. Some we could make out of stone, some we could make out of bricks. Oh, this is actually looking rather lightweight. Is that more expensive? That would be still 38 million, right? Perhaps we have something else than normal bricks. Now, this is actually something I can live with. Look at that glorious bridge here, right? Going through the over the river, and on the sides, of course, we still have this aqueduct style in the mountain area. So this I know from the Alps trains that we have here. This one here, I kind of like know from San Francisco or something like that. It's working perfectly though. The speed limit of 120 we can keep as well. We can upgrade this one to high-speed trains if we want to. And it's just perfect, really. It has a really beautiful bridge now that we have. And we have a connection between Paris and Salzburg, even though this one cost us 50 million in construction cost, right? But it is possible only now. After 100 years, we no longer need buses that work between Paris and Salzburg, and both of them are coming together in this beautiful, massive train system, train project that we have. Another 3 million for the second track going through or over that bridge. Another 5 million here. This is actually costing us more than 40 million. I'm sorry. More than 50 million. That's 8 million. Why is it so expensive? It's a secondary track here that we have. 13 million. All right. I take it back. That's 100 million actually that this train project will cost us. Holy cow. That's a lot of cash. That's a lot of cash that this one here is now worth it. And yeah, hopefully it's going to pay itself off again after 100 years. Look at that. I can't wait for a train to go through that. Of course, we still also need to connect Zurich with Salzburg now. It's not over there yet. And for Zurich, I have something very special planned, right? It's a town of 185 people there at the moment. And since we are rather good on money, a tunnel going through that will probably cost us 100 million to Stockholm is very realistic in the future. Right now though, I want to connect Zurich with Salzburg, and for that I'm going to totally destroy this town as it is right now, because we need a station rather centrally. So let's get rid of these streets there, and then we have another beautiful center here that we can use now for a train station. Now, as we can see, the destruction is quite big on this one. I will need to destroy a few other things here as well. So this whole area there, I still need to destroy as well. Let's get rid of that. I'm sorry, Zurich, but it's going to be worth it in the long term, right? There we have it. As we can see, we probably just half the population there. Yeah, 60 less, but I'm pretty confident that we will catch up on that again once we have a decent train running here. I'm going to use one of these beautiful stations there once again, going right through that center, and there we have it, another train station now in Zurich. Of course, well, yeah, let's also have some roadies going around here then. So there we have then this one. right? Because we still need some road that goes to the other side then after all for more growth. And while we're at destroying everything here, let's also upgrade these small roads there to bigger roads. This is a total revamp of Zurich that we're seeing here, and I hope that city is recovering from that. So we basically destroyed downtown as we know it, as we knew it. There we have another road. Now this is going to be interesting though. Wait a second. Let's have the connection here, because I have no idea if we can actually have then tracks going through that. Let's just find this one out. We can find it out here. Yes, it's possible. It's looking a bit strange, but it is possible having those tracks here. Righto? There it's possible. Perfect. And then of course we need to continue later here, going through that village once again, and we probably will need to wreak some further destruction upon Zurich, but for now it's fine. And yeah, those people, they just have to trust me here that we have the best in mind for them. Where's Salzburg? There is Salzburg. So we need now to have a train connection going through the whole town there from Zurich to Salzburg. That's another tricky part that we'll need to do here. That is looking fine. Look at that. Has it solar panels? Nah, it doesn't have solar panels. It looked like it had solar panels there. We only have the normal tracks there for now. I actually do like that. I'm not adding high-speed tracks for now because I do like to have a bit of realism. And let's face it, those mountain trains never were designed for high speed. If I want to design it for high speed later on, we'll just giving it another high-speed one, and that's the end of it. There's this road system here that we need to get rid of in order to make that train working. The problem with that is now, I think, yep, a lot of cities are not connected now. So Salzburg, for example, is not connected to London, to Lyon and stuff like that. That would be very bad for the city, right? So Salzburg would probably decline now pretty heavily. So let's hurry up there. Actually, let's pause the game before Salzburg disappears into oblivion. And I would like to have this road there, most likely, that we can connect now with that system up there again. But only possible with that bridge. That can't be true because it's a street. A street can have some certain elevation. There we have it. This one goes down here. Here. And then we have the connection there again. Righto. Warning is gone. We have the connection again. And I do have now some space here for my next tracks that we can then have in this direction. Righto, that's going to be another challenge. We need to get through this. And I just hope that... I think this is going to be very expensive once again, thanks to all those bridges. Let's just see that we can keep the speed. We should also not forget that we are going to have another connection going away then towards London, right? So I do need to keep a bit of a straight line here before I really move over there, right? So we definitely do want to have some split there later. And that bridge here needs to be, of course, rigs once again for the 120 speed limit. Gosh, but this shouldn't be so high. Just see that we make this one right. But for some reasons I cannot put it down. Alright, we can't really put it down there. I don't want to have now one huge giant train here that is only bridges. That would be way too expensive. Like, that would really deplete our money now. Up to this point here, we still need to have that bridge. How is it looking? Not pretty. It's not looking so pretty, but it's necessary to keep the speed of the train going. And from here on, we can keep a normal one. Alright. Alright, let's also use these tunnels there. And boom, yes, there we have it. Another train line is coming together. That was another, well, very, very tedious work that we had to be doing here. And I tried my best to make this one as realistic as possible as well. Now, of course, I did not record it because I think it's not really something that's exciting. We are, of course, following the tracks now with the secondary, the parallel track system. So we do have the high speed, or, well, we could have high speed in the future here. We are going through that mountain here first, and then we continue into this flatland. For a moment, we don't have bridges. This is another very, very expensive train line here, by the way. Then we do have another bridge system that goes into the next tunnel that we have then over there. So this is only really possible because we have so much money now. It would never have been possible earlier on. And then we are basically going into one huge giant bridge once again that leads up there to Zurich. There's no other way around that, because that, Zurich, is pretty high elevated there again in the mountain areas. It's actually getting a bit snowy up there, which is just fantastic. And it's also really necessary to just have this bridge here, unfortunately, which is another $50 million project that we have, or euro project, I should say, that we have there. But the advantage is, once built, of course, those tracks persist, and also we keep the high speed, or we keep the maximum speed that's possible available at all times, and this will be especially profitable later on. There we've built it. We got another massive train line now going to Zurich from Salzburg. Holy cow, really. And from Salzburg then with this beautiful bridge here to Paris. Now, we could later on then also split it up here, righto, going into the other direction towards London if we really want to go down this road. We probably should at some point, even though people, of course, could fly from Lyon to Paris and then take the train to Salzburg. After all, Salzburg is in a rather remote location. Or in a rather elevated location, I should say, and that is fine. Now, let's also just have some splits and merges over here, basically, right where we have the station then. Righto, and we should do the same thing once again in Zurich, right in front of the space of the station then. So one here, which is not possible. Please let me do this. Too much curvature, too much slope. What? This is a merge? It should work. There it is. Perfect. And then we have another one on the bridge here. That is working too. It's not really working. This is a bit tricky. Give me that. Give me that, please. What? Alright, there we can make it happen. Perfect, there we have it. And now, of course, the same thing right in front of Salzburg. Now, right in front of Salzburg, it's going to be a bit tricky. Actually, we don't need it in front of Salzburg, right? Because the trains would never merge or split up here. We do need it in front of Paris, though. So right over there, we definitely do need that system working here. Very good. And then, well, we still need our signals to keep the trains on their respective tracks, and that we can have several of these trains then on the tracks. I'm going to have one here. If we have several trains, it's definitely better to have several waypoints then also. Then we have one right in front of the station itself. There's more already appearing. Then after the split and merger, we're going to have another one here. And probably one here on the bridge. And once again, right in front of Zurich. So just in case we have 4 trains here at some point, I mean, who knows, right? If we prolong, or if we extend this line to Stockholm and then perhaps even to Amsterdam later on, we definitely will be very happy about these waypoints if I have, for example, 4 trains on this system here. There we have it as well. So basically, this one is now ready for action. I just need once more a train depot. I'm just going to have one though that is going to follow then, and we could just implement it right here if space permits it. There we have it, right? One last time I need to destroy those poor buildings right in Zurich itself. And then of course we will create now a new line for that. Boy, what work that was. From Zurich we go to Salzburg. We go to Paris, to Paris, right? Which station platform do we need? Let's use platform 1 here, just in case for later we might need something else. And then it's going back to Salzburg, where we do use the other platform, of course, that's available. Right, so far so correct. And then it goes back to Zurich. So this is Paris, Zurich now. Holy cow, that was work. And of course for that we do need a proper train. It needs to be a powerful locomotive. We might use the Class A for this one there once again. We could also use the BR, right? But that's not so fast. This one is not so strong. This one is not so fast. So let's use the Steam for that once again. So the Steam, the Class A4, is kind of like my standard one at the moment for everything passenger related. And then the BC4 cabins there as well. We could go up to 160, and that's pretty much it. 20 million one of these costs me, and let's put it out there. It's about time. There it is. What what an investment that was. I'm hoping that we get rewarded by that with big cities. So it's starting here, as we can see right away, and I'm just going to copy this once it reaches Paris, so then we have two on the track here. And I'm probably going to have a lot of fun just watching this one here going back and forth all the time now. Look at that. We had over 500 million before that project, and now we're down to 375 million. Oh, and just in time we get a new locomotive. I think this is a very powerful one. Also a Mercedes-Benz now. Very first bus there that we could use then. Look at that. Holy cow. What a beautiful line this is. Then it's going up to Salzburg. As we can see, we do lose some speed here. That's because the locomotive is probably not powerful enough to carry these wagons up this slope there. It's pretty steep, actually, right into Salzburg station. There is no one waiting at the moment, but I'm pretty sure there are going to be people waiting. Over that beautiful bridge, finally going into Paris itself. And with that, we can now also copy this one here. So let's just copy it. Boom. And there we have the other one that's coming out in Zurich now. And yeah, this is also going to be another very long train at some point, because of course we will not stop at Zurich. We'll probably make then this jump here through Stockholm, going right into the other side of the map. Of course, that's going to be very expensive. There's already 40 people now waiting in Zurich. Really good. And with that train leaving, we can also now delete that depot there. So there's more buildings that can appear now again in this area. And just hoping, yes, as we can see, we're already back to the original size of Zurich. And with that, we have another destination opening up, plus 50% in growth. And I'm expecting here that Zurich becomes even better and even, well, bigger now than before, and I'm really pretty sure that this train line is going to be profitable for us. Stay tuned.